My name is Caroline Amecha. I am a graduate quantity surveyor. I graduated last year, 2020, from the University of Nairobi with a first class honors in Bachelor's of Quantity Surveying.
Okay.
Yeah. The biggest challenge that I had as a QS student was the fact that I entered the profession very green. By green, I mean that I had not exposed myself to the construction environment in any way. So I didn't have any relatives or any friends. I had not been to a construction site before. And so I thought that going to class, it will be from ground up, but they expect that you have some basic knowledge of how the construction works. So how I overcame it was immediately we went for our first long holiday. I decided that instead of looking for an attachment in a consultancy firm, I would look for an attachment with a contractor. So I basically shadowed the contractor every day, 8 to 5, so that I can be able to learn the building technology firsthand. And from there on, whenever the lecturer mentioned something, I relate it to something that I saw on the site. Yeah. So what I'd advise a student who's looking to join is expose yourself as much as possible to construction. So if you can shadow a professional that you know, please do. If you can get an attachment in a construction site, please do, because it will come in very handy when it comes to now the theory part. Yeah.
What?
So I had a lot of expectations when I first started. For instance, I thought that I will be able to be conversant with everything that pertains measurements in a building. But I came to find out that quantity surveying is a learning process. I don't think, in my opinion, that you can ever exhaust quantity surveying. There's always a new software that has come out that you need to learn. There's always a new technology that has come up that you need to know how to measure. So if I could talk to my younger self, I'd tell her to be very open-minded and to remember that it's always a learning process. You can never exhaust everything. So that's one expectation that was not quite met by reality. The first one is technology. I foresee a future where maybe in the next 5 years we'll have a lot of software that are coming up, a lot of technological advancements that are coming up, and therefore the quantity surveyors will continually have to keep on sharpening their skills on the same, and also adopting new technology to make our work easier. The second thing is I see a high possibility of balancing the gender representation. So currently in the market, it's male dominated, but in the classroom we are seeing almost 50-50, 51-49. So the more they keep on pumping out graduates, the more there'll be that balance, and it's quite exciting to see what a bigger representation of the females will bring to the industry.
In general,
COVID had both negative and positive effects. On a personal level, by the time COVID was hitting us, I was supposed to sit my last exams. So we had to do them virtually. So you can imagine doing the last exams in school, which matter the most, virtually for the first time. There are a lot of challenges, and unfortunately some of my classmates who, if we had not done virtual exams, they would have graduated. They have not graduated because of systemic errors and a lot of that stuff. So there was that. And then number two, by the time we were now graduating in December, a lot of the firms were either downsizing or trying to reduce the amount of expenditure that they have. So very few firms were thinking of taking in new people. So being absorbed is very difficult. And then once things got a bit better, some of us were lucky enough to get absorbed, and then we had the second lockdown. So it's very difficult, but there's also the positive aspect where you're kind of pushed to the wall, and you're put in a position where you have to survive. So that's where you come up with now creative ways of using your skill in such a way that you can still make money, you can still continue sharpening your skills even as you wait to be absorbed by the firms. For me personally, it was research. So after I cleared school and I was sitting idle, I decided maybe let me not let my skill sit idle. So instead, what I could do is I could write blogs that students can refer to. And as much as I wasn't being paid for it, it was just a good reference point for myself and even for students. Yeah. So that when I started doing that, the more I did that, the more I discovered that there's a whole lot that we were not taught in class. So it really encouraged me to start doing more and more research so that I can put out more blogs. And yeah, it's now a skill that I've fully adopted and I'm doing it part-time. Yeah. What worked for me was being extra. Just be extra in everything that you do. Go the extra mile. So sometimes, actually most of the times, it's not enough to just do the bare minimum. If you can go an extra mile, go for it. Let your lecturers know you. Let your work let your work speak for itself, and eventually you will have attained a record of performance where someone knows that if Amecha has done this, it has been done to high quality. Yeah, that's what worked for me. Just be extra in everything that you do. Yeah. Many benefits of being a member of a professional body. There's the aspect of training and mentorship. So there are so many webinars, so many training sessions that you can go earn CPD points, both for professionals, graduates, students. It's a very exciting learning experience. Then in terms of mentorship and networking, you can get to know the people who are in the industry, the players. Your potential clients are there, your potential employers are there, and so it's something that I feel like everyone should take advantage of. Then there's also the aspect of employment. So they, for example, I know that IQSK has helped some students by linking them up with potential employers to give them attachments. And I might mention that even I myself at the moment, I am an employee of IQSK. So it also gives you a lot of employment opportunities. Yes.